the Conscious Broadcast, and I want to thank you for joining me today. Today, I am going to be exploring a little bit about my recap on the interview that I had with Dr. Carlos Garcia, and that was episode number 5, The Humanistic Approach to Healing. I really, really loved meeting with him. He was such a genuine person, and he had quite the story. I mean, talk about so many transitions in his life, and it was really, really, really amazing for him to be so vulnerable in his sharing. So let me go into a little bit about what he had said in our meeting, and then I'll kind of share a little bit about my reflection on the topic. So Carlos was a refugee of Cuba. I had a rough day posting this and said the wrong country. But he was a refugee of Cuba, and he did go into a little bit of detail. We had a conversation prior to, but in our actual interview about, life was really good before they left. Obviously he was young, but it wasn't until Fidel Castro really pushed his idealism of communism into the country where they decided to leave and had the opportunity to come to the United States. So kind of hearing a real person in my life that had gone through that experience was quite amazing because I've only read about it. So, and through my parents and such. So it was really nice to actually meet somebody that has kind of adapted into the United States with their family. And so he goes into his upbringing, which was challenging, with just trying to survive essentially, and later goes into the details of just the parenting that went on for him was really the type of style that I think many have gone through, and which led to helping him with his practice and being in therapy, really to release some of the anger and sadness, all sorts of things, anxiety that he had established at a young age. And then he became a Marine. So, rightfully so, he wanted to give back to the country that took him in, and he became a Marine. And he explained in detail about how they conditioned and programmed. And to me, it's so sad, to hear how humans are treated in order to be basically weapons for the United States. I understand why they do that, but it's clear that should be another way, in order to help elevate our awareness, our consciousness, that it's not always about taking a human and really demoralizing them in order to serve the country. There has to be a better way. So I appreciate him telling me this and sharing. It's not just about combat, that there's post-traumatic stress and all sorts of disorders after, the military or service or being in the Marine Corps, but that it's just the conditioning of itself and how they're treating that person who's already coming in to traumas and experiences that aren't favorable from their lifestyle growing up at home. So I really appreciated him telling me a little bit more about that. And then he went in and shift careers, was in civil services for a while, but still was like wondering, what is it that I'm missing? I'm missing that joy, that love, that passion, that drive. And I know exactly what he's talking about, because deep down inside, I think that's where we're our highest, where we want to be in alignment with the things that we really love to do. And so he decided to get a doctorate in psychology, and he is a psychologist and has his own business, Tampa Counseling and Wellness. And he services many patients and clients there. And he really takes like this humanistic approach. And that's kind of the title of the episode, is a humanistic approach to healing, because he really can be vulnerable with his clients. He shares his stories, and he wants them to take off the masks, the layers, because we hold a lot of shame in our stories. And sometimes we feel like we can't really truly let go and share, because we have a lot of shame. And so I can totally understand that. Putting yourself out there is one of the hardest things to do. Me going on this journey, for example, has also been one where I have to set aside the feelings I have about my execution on some of the things that I say after looking back at videos, saying the things that I share, puts you in a vulnerable place, and sometimes it's not so easy to go there. But once you've worked on yourself and gone within and really allow yourself to be authentic, it's so relieving because it's now not something that you're holding on to anymore. You don't have to hold on to any of that. And so it's a process. It's a process. And sometimes it's easy and sometimes it requires a little bit more work to do. So I can totally relate to what Dr. Garcia is saying there. And I appreciate the work that he's done. And he's continued to do his own journey. At the end, he talked about his ayahuasca journey. And I know I'm going to be interviewing quite a few people sharing their experience because I find it very interesting and very healing for them. And really, what it is, it's discovering things that allow information that we already know, but maybe adding a little bit more of some guidance that we need to hear. And so what I found is that he really had more of a knowing of who he was, that it's okay that we don't know pretty much everything. We only know through our experiences, but we really don't know a lot. And sometimes we always feel like we have to have the answers. And that's part of the journey. The part of the journey is to explore. Sometimes we make mistakes, and it feels really good when we've achieved something that we always wanted to do or experience, and just really sit with it. Be in the present moment of just allowing yourself to have that experience. I had a hard time with that. I was either always looking in the past or always looking ahead and not really appreciating the now moments. And in those now moments, where the healing is, because that's all we really have are what's happening now. Um, and with those moments of allowing what to come through, um, profound healing happens, and it's just a beautiful experience to just receive. We're often feel like we're not allowed to receive. Not saying that it's a bad thing because it's good to give. I love giving, but we have to have an equal balance of receiving too. This is what it's all about, an exchange with one another. And I want to thank Dr. Carlos Garcia and all the work that he's doing because it looks like he is giving and receiving with his patients and seeing some great success. And I hope that we can do this here. We can continue to do this as a collective of giving and receiving and sharing insights and experiences because I am curious and I've already started my gene keys journey. And so that's why what I take away from these interviews is someone can expand my mind a little bit. I'm always curious on what might come out on the other side. So I appreciate you. I hope that you enjoyed the episode, and thank you for your time today. I ask that you like and subscribe to the Conscious Broadcast, and we will see you on the next episode of the Conscious Broadcast. Have a wonderful day.